This video is about motivation. We have two businesses, an RV repair business called The Camper Pros and a computer business called Ringageek.com. So we have thecamperpros.com and Ringageek.com. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people out there right now with no motivation sitting on the couch. I'm in one of our service trucks here now. We use an ambulance as a service truck. We have a few service trucks in our business. I see a lot of posts where men are not sticking up for themselves. I know why. I know why. Because I had the same problem. I'm just going to run down what I've been through in life in a nutshell really quick. I have a learning disability. I can barely spell. I can barely write. I can read very well, which is good because I can comprehend and read what I'm reading and comprehend it and figure problems out. So that really helps. Who cares about the spelling and reading? I mean, spelling and writing, who cares? Because you can type and you have spell check on your phone, and sometimes the spell check doesn't work for me. I'm telling you, I can't even... That thing gets confused when I'm doing a spell check. But anyways, I was in a resource room for every class during middle school, never went to high school, never really went to high school, never graduated, never got my GED, and started two successful businesses. If you want to be successful, go get your testosterone checked. Go to the doctors and get it checked. See what the levels are. Mine was 31 deciliters. I was almost dying. So now I take injections. I have to take a shot every week, and I take testosterone. It helped me out a lot because it gave me a lot of nerve. All the junk food we're eating and all this garbage slowing your testosterone, and you guys get it checked because it saved my life. I was able to start two businesses. The biggest thing that helped me really was Heather, because my wife Heather, because she got my testosterone checked. She knew it was down low. I didn't even know what testosterone was. So I got that checked, and that made a huge difference. That made I mean, it's like night and day. You could be sitting on your sofa right now thinking, how am I going to make it in life? Well, people will just say, oh, just do what you love to do. Even if there's no money in it, there'll be money in it. Just do it well. I don't know if I believe that. Do what you like to do, not what you love to do, what you like. Because what you like to do, there's a lot more things that you like to do than really what you love to do. I would love to sit inside the AC and do nothing and watch TV. I'd love to do that. Can't do that. I don't have that. That's not how this world's set up. You have to work to get money. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You can sit in front of the computer and be a millionaire, no problem. But it's really unlikely unless you have a lot of money to start off with. I've been there, done that. I have computer businesses. We still have them. You have to get out there. I've met a lot of people out there, a lot of good friends being out and about. I would recommend getting into a trade right now. A trade is where it's at. No one wants to do hands-on anything. So a trade, you're going to make a lot of money right now. You can go to school and you can go to college, and I don't say that, and I'm not saying that's bad. That's a good thing. But right now, the way the country's set up, the United States, is no one wants to do that, the trade work. So that's where the money is right now. I would get into a trade if I were you. You don't have to do RV repair, and especially don't do RV repair if you're in my area, because I'm pretty hard to compete with. That just shows you the motivation I have. I like a lot of guys around here. We're friends with everybody that does RV repair around here. You can be really good at one trade, but if you can't sell yourself, if you can't sell yourself to get the calls in a trade, you're not going to make any money in it. You can work for someone else, which is great. That's a great thing to do. But you kind of have to be like a CEO on top of things. You got to be really high up to make any real good money, right? I'd recommend starting a business on the side, keeping your day job, and when you get successful, you can transfer over. That's the hardest part, by the way. Transferring over to your own boss is really difficult. There's a fine line where you're not going to want to leave your day job because you're nervous. But you have to go in with the attitude of there's no plan B. You don't have one. Arnold Schwarzenegger would tell you he hates plan B because you have something to fall back on. If you don't have a plan B, you have nothing to fall back on. You have to stick with plan A. So a lot of people will discourage you of starting your own business. They will say, go get a job, a regular job. They don't understand it because they don't have their own business. Hang out with someone that has their own business and hang out with that person. Try to be friends with them and help them if anything. Heck, I offer to help them for free. And they'll probably take you up on that because it's hard to find workers right now, you know. So that's what I did. We surrounded ourselves with people that were successful. Now we're successful. That's what it takes. You hang around with people that do drugs, you're going to be doing drugs. hang around people that are successful, you can be successful. That's just the way it is. You are who you hang out with. That's a big thing I learned in life. But if you say, well, Ross, where do I start? I have no money. Well, Heather and I started a computer business with no money. We went in mall parking lots, and we got tickets for handing business cards and putting them in the wipers of the cars. But we would do this by the thousands. We'd just cover it. In Florida, we'd cover the mall parking lots, and we'd get kicked out. Oh, man, I got these guys pissed off at me, the security guards. Woo, they're calling the cops every 5 minutes. But I didn't care because we still have some of those customers on the computer side of the business from handing the card out in the mall parking lot. It was cheap, free marketing. At Vistaprint, I was getting cards for free because it said Vistaprint on the back for our advertising. I don't think they do that anymore. But we started off with zero money. The main thing I'm trying to tell you is get motivated to do something. And everybody says, well, they have a handicap. I took a test from the state. It was an IQ test, I believe. And it came back when I think it was like 26 years old. It came back, 26, 27 years old. It came back where I was borderline retarded. Out of all the average people in the United States, I was borderline retarded. I mean, I was right there on every single subject where I was with someone that had a massive disability. So that kind of let me down a little bit. I didn't know what to think of that test. But then I thought, I met a couple guys that were self-employed, and I said, hey, the self-employed thing, they're making way more money than the average person. Some people don't, some people do, but on the average, they make more money than a regular job. It's a lot more stress, but over the years, I was able to handle that stress, where I can sleep at night, shut everything off. Some people can't do it. If you can't do it, get a regular job, because if you get stressed real easy, you better learn how to manage that stress. You're never going to make it. Odds are everything's going to be okay when you're in business. So that test kind of got to me a little bit, but we did it. I did it, Heather did it, and Heather was my biggest thing that pushed me to get the testosterone to have more courage to start my own business, our own business. The biggest thing now is if you have drive and you want to do something, you can do it. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what disability you have. If you can barely spell, read, or write, it doesn't matter. You can do it. Just find a workaround. Like, I was on a computer call one time back in the day, and I was in some guy's house. We used to do businesses too, but I was in a house. And some rich guy, I remember. And it was in Palm City, Florida. And he had a password on the screen. And the password to get into the computer is pretty obvious. You need to type that in. Now, he's sitting behind my shoulder, and I'm ready to type the password in. Now, keep in mind, I can't spell. So and we didn't have the cell phones then. It was back before I had the flip phone. So I'm trying to type the password in. The password was Disney. Like in Orlando, Disney, Walt Disney. I didn't know how to spell Disney. So what did I do? I said, hold on one sec, I got to get something out of the truck, because I'm good at learning excuses, because I have to. I had to learn excuses to eat. So I walked out in a truck, called Heather, and I said, how do you spell Disney? And I wrote it down on a piece of paper. Now, my disability was so horrible and so bad at the time that I had to have that piece of paper in front of me to learn to type it in the keyboard, because I couldn't remember the word Disney, how to spell it, without the piece of paper. That's how bad it was. But I could fix a computer perfectly. So that was my disability. And what I did is I came back in and I tried to remember it from the truck, the piece of paper, and I put it in my pocket. And I couldn't remember how to spell Disney. It was embarrassing. Okay, so I was like one letter off. And the guy, actually, I backed the keys up and that guy spelt it for me because I think he picked up on I couldn't spell it. So I said, then I just blamed it on us. What a bad typing day, Anything to get away from I couldn't spell. So that shows you how bad I had a disability, and we overcame the disability. Now I'm better at spelling because I'm really trying. I'm better because I text a lot. And my friends will tell me, Ross, you can't spell anything. And I don't care. It doesn't bother me anymore. Nothing really bothers me. I don't care. I care. I make things right, but nothing bothers me. As in, I'm pretty tough. I can take a lot and keep going. And that's really what the thing is. If you can take a lot and keep going and push and push and push, get some business cards, guys. They're cheap. Go to Vistaprint. Get some freaking business cards. I think they're like $20. Take the $20. Everybody's got $20 on them, right? Take the $20. or 30 bucks. Get like 1,000 cards or whatever it is. It don't have to be fancy. And start, you know, try to put a little bit of effort into making your card, because it makes a big difference. Go get an occupational license downtown town and start doing business. You don't need insurance right away. When you get to a point where you have a bunch of trucks on the road, then you probably get, or trucks if you're an electrician or a plumber or whatever you are. Freaking flying here. Get a then you need to get liability insurance. But at first, you can't afford liability insurance. If you mess something up, fix it. Make it right. I'm going to do a bunch of videos like this for motivation, because I really think you need it. You really need to stay tuned to our channel, because I'm going to motivate people in every single video I do now. Not just show off what we have. Oh, we're building a building for RV repair and we're this and that. I'm going to show that too. But I'm going to mostly try to help you out. I think we're going to change our channel around to try to help you out the most. Keep watching. I'm going to throw tips in all the time and what we do and how we do it. And you should be doing the same thing. Just don't do RV repair in my town, because we'll overtake you. And you read one thing on the internet of what you like to do. That's getting something done. The next day, do another thing and another thing. I have a big list every morning what I have to accomplish every day. I accomplish something every day. I work every day. 7 days a week, sometimes 14, 15 hours a day. But that's what it takes to get above your competition, to get out there, to get motivated, to get working. Everybody's like, I got to get a good wife. Well, I have a wife now that's really good, because I worked to get her, and I kept her. And she kept me. Oh my gosh. Especially when I was drunk. I was drinking, because I was depressed and drinking a lot. She stayed with me through the whole thing, which is nice. Pretty good. She's a pretty good person. So, get a wife that can help you spell. See? That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Oh, I'm not good looking. I can't get a wife. Yeah, you can. It has nothing to do with looks. Has nothing. Almost zero to do with looks. Because if someone's going to come after you for looks, and just looks, and not your person, then they're the wrong person anyway, so get rid of them. It's that easy. Everything's easy, guys, once you know how to do it. You have to learn. And take one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Don't blast yourself with everything. You'll never make it. One thing at a time, one step. Just go slow. Get it done. I got to go. I got to check on Walt. He's at a call. See ya.